talk about a lot of the options that are out there and new ways to find them. So joining me is Allie DeSmet with the Clark Fox Family Foundation, and you're the project manager for Blueprint for Summer STL. So we've got the iPad here, and this is a way for us to go, in a sense, shopping for the right program. How does it work? Tell me how it works.
Sure. So Blueprint for Summer is a web application. So you can just go to blueprint4summer.com and you can easily start searching. So if I press search sessions, I go in and this is really our main page. And when you say shopping for summer programs, this is really the easiest way to do a robust search. So I can search by keyword or category or a special attribute or a time of day, a distance from a zip code or an address.
So you're not suggesting what I should do with my kid, right?
Right. No, we truly believe that parents know what's best for their children and are really interested in the opportunities that are available. We're just trying to take some of the stress and anxiety out of planning and make it really simple.
So I see at the top, you know, just from what I can see, music interest, outdoors, sports, soccer, science, all that kind of stuff.
Right, and so you can really search from any sort of start. So if you know a category, maybe start searching there. If you know your home address and you want to go 5 miles from there, start with just the address so that you can be as limiting or as broad of a search as you want.
So I'm going to ask you to search for something, but free?
Free to use for parents, for anybody to use, and it's also free for programs to list.
Doesn't necessarily mean the program that you find is free, but the service is free.
Correct. So, you know, it's free for any organization to list their program with Blueprint for Summer, and it's free for anybody to access the information.
Okay, so let's say you live in South County and you're interested in a music camp.
Sure.
How would I go about doing that?
Okay, so what I
need a zip code, because I don't.
Sure. Well, how about we do a music camp in 63106? So that might be a little bit closer into the city, but I can do a music camp, and let's do 10 miles from 63106. And maybe that's all I know. I hit search sessions, and I can easily see there's, you know, a bunch of sessions, 149 matches. You know, so I can quickly go through, and maybe I want to learn about, you know, passport around the world at COCA, and I want to send my child on a trip around the world and find out about music and art from a bunch of different countries. But I can show you a few more other searches. So maybe I want to search for robotics, you know, which is a really hot topic for the summer. So maybe I want to search for robotics, and I want to search for STEM, and I want to search in my zip code, you know, 63108. And I want it to be less than $250 because I'm getting a little more defined. So I can hit search. I'll see that there's 12 matches that match all of that criteria. And when I find a session that's of interest to me, maybe I want to go to Advanced Robotics at Rankin, I can click on it to find more information, click to Google Maps to get directions. If I create a free account, I can save this program as a favorite. I can add it to my Blueprint calendar, which is a calendar layout that helps parents plan for summer in a really easy and visual way. So you can, you know, make your search as large or as small as you want to help find the perfect best fit summer
Is there
program.
a geographical region that this serves best right now?
Sure. So it serves the city of St. Louis, the county of St. Louis, St. Charles County, and Jefferson County. We do have some programs that will be coming in on the Illinois side as well.
So it's not just like the best possible, fanciest camps, although they're in there, right?
Right.
So if you wanted an expensive rocket camp, if that's an expensive camp,
sure.
But you could also find a day camp. I mean, a playground sort of program as well?
So when we started adding in information for Blueprint, I know that I was really surprised. We have over 1,500 sessions already on Blueprint for Summer. And like you said, it's from free all the way up to a larger amount of money. But sometimes it's not only the cost, but it's really finding what truly fits your child best and what they might have an interest in.
Was there a demand for this? I mean, how did this get generated? Is this something that's being done around the country? Clearly, 1,500 programs I would never be able to find, right?
Sure.
So there's a good service. But were people asking for this, or were the organizations saying we want a clearinghouse for these things?
So there's been a few other ways that you can find out information. So you could go to a summer camp fair, you could find maybe a listing online, but this is really unique because it's dynamic, because you can search by all of those criteria. So we did talk to families, and a lot of times when we heard, why haven't you enrolled in a summer program for your child, the information simply, the answer was simply, I didn't know that there was programs in my neighborhood, or I didn't know that there was a program that my child would want to go to.
Yeah, if you do it by zip code, you may actually find something half a mile away that you didn't know existed.
Exactly, and that's what we've been hearing from families, that this has been a really stressful and arduous process for them, and that now it's become so simple with Blueprint for Summer. They can put in the information that's most important to them and find a program that fits for them.
Is this accessible? Not everybody owns an iPad. Is this stuff that you think people will be able to go to the library, for example, use a computer and find this?
That's a great question. So we are a web application, and what that means is you can access it on any any wireless device that has Wi-Fi. So you can use a desktop computer, you can even use your mobile phone. It's optimized to look great on any sort of mobile phone. You can use it on a tablet, so without any download necessary.
And it's probably a good time to start looking at it, if not signing up already, isn't it?
Definitely. So we already have, like I said, we have 1,500 camps already. Some camps are already filling up, and we know we'll have more being added soon. So check back.
Great. Allie DeSmet, the name of the app, Blueprint for Summer STL.
Yep, so just go to www.blueprint4summer.com.
Great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Stay around. So we've got some more stuff to talk about. We've got some experts who are with us in the camp and summer activity field. We've got Evelyn Rice Peebles, who's the Commissioner of Recreation in the City of St. Louis. You oversee recreation centers, swimming pools, all those summer day camps, right?
That's right, yes.
Erin Malone is Director of Youth Development for Missions St. Louis, a nonprofit working in St. Louis neighborhoods, running a year-round after-school program and summer youth programs as well. And our friend Maxine Clark, Clark Fox Family Foundation, education activist, founder of Build-A-Bear Workshop, and by the way, the chairman of our board here at Channel 9. Thanks all for being here. Evelyn, when we first started thinking about summer programs, I was thinking back to that progressive era, 1900 folks, Dwight Davis, Charlotte Rumbold,
Yes.
deciding that the parks were for the people, we needed to build playgrounds for children, give them somewhere to go while their moms and dads were working in the factories.
Yes.
This is still a real issue
It is
in the
still-
city, isn't it?
It really is. And as you mentioned earlier, what is outstanding is that it is still free. And this means that families that have low income or a number of children, perhaps not heavily resourced, can still have a good experience for their child. They're out of the house, but they're in a safe environment. They're with other children. They will go on field trips. They will do some reading. They'll have activities. This year, we're really excited. We're working with the St. Louis Science Center to have some hands-on experiential resources at our camps, and it's all completely free.
Help me out, guys, because you're involved in this. And I think sometimes when we're talking about this learning loss, we're saying that kids need to be drilled during the summer. They need to be in classrooms. They need to be learning things. You're talking about experiences. You're talking about exposure to things. What do kids need that is short of formalized instruction during the summer that really helps support them throughout that summer?
I think children need a perspective, and that's sometimes what you don't always get in the classroom. You get book learning. When you get out into the summer and into weekends even, and you have a chance to go to the zoo or the parks or to a
Yes.
camp where they take those experiences and take what you learned in school and help it have an application to life. And in St. Louis, as you just heard, there's 1,500 programs already registered in Blueprint for Summer, but I just know that there's some that parents had no idea about, that they just couldn't have imagined exist in our city, let alone 3 miles from their home. And I think that's the best part of it. There's ways to apply that classroom learning to a fun learning experience that's casual in the summertime, maybe near a pool, maybe near a park, and learning science and math and English and writing, a myriad of activities.
Erin?
Yeah, absolutely. We were actually talking in the back about how some of our students from low-income families, their world is in their neighborhood. And
Yes.
so they could go 2 neighborhoods over and they're like, where are we? This is amazing. And you're like,
Yes.
well, this has been here the whole time.
Right.
So just giving them the opportunity to get out of the 2-block radius that they've been in and go somewhere and experience something that they maybe haven't had an opportunity to experience can be really powerful.
You know, one thing that was a really big learning experience for me when we were looking at all these camps starting last summer was that some of the best camps in the country, especially day camps, exist here in St. Louis. And one of the best science camps associated with the Science Center, but is the Challenger camps. And they are in Ferguson, Missouri. And it's a cooperative program between the Ferguson-Florissant School District, the cooperating school districts now called Ed Plus, and the Science Center, right in our backyard, right in Ferguson, Missouri. Phenomenal science, space programs, robotics programs. Who knew? And a lot of families, I use that one as a test, and people say, do you know where it is? I have no idea. And we tell them it's a great surprise. So it's a great way for new neighborhoods to be discovered as well, because kids can go to camp there, and it's right around the corner.
I know every kid's different, and they have particular interests, and you might have a kid who really wants to go to music camp or really wants to go to code riding camp or horse riding camp. But some kids, and we were talking as well, that
Yes.
you don't have to go to drama camp to get a little song and play acting and artwork. You don't have to go to art camp to get artwork, because day camp and playground camps do a lot of that stuff as part of it. I mean, I think that's got to be really important.
It really is important. At the end of the summer, we have a big talent extravaganza, and every child has to do something. They can read a poem, they can do a little dance, and they practice and they make costumes. They learn a lot about getting along with other cultures, other neighborhoods, because they have to work together as a group, and they are so excited to perform. We invite families. We normally have our extravaganza at Keener Plaza downtown, and downtown lunchers come out and clap for the kids, and it's really a good time, and they have fun, and they experiment, and they're being creative, and again, it's at no cost, and you do some dancing, and you do some singing, and we make t-shirts, and they paint, and they learn to swim, to get over some of the fear of the water that a lot of people have, and it really helps them grow. I agree with what you said earlier, in a way that sometimes does not happen within the classroom.
Erin, you guys have been doing stuff at Mission St. Louis, after-school programs for kids not coming from necessarily the most privileged backgrounds in the summer programs. Tell me about this learning loss issue. I don't know if you've got the academic research on the program, but do you see the ability to prevent these kids from sort of falling behind? Do you see that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just here recently, the Washington Post wrote an article about just the fact that for the first time in 50 years, the majority of students in the United States come from low-income families. And even in St. Louis public schools right now, almost 90% of the students are qualified for free or reduced lunch. So we have a large number of our students that are coming from families that are under-resourced, that they're coming from a single parent household in which their parents are stretched for time and resources. And so because of that, now more than ever, our students the only way to make up for that time, that lost time, is time. So our students need to have these expanded learning opportunities so that they can get caught up. And that's exactly what we're really working for in our program. We want to give our students more time on task, doing specific reading activities, working on the areas specifically where they have deficits in math and reading. So when our students come in, we do some diagnostic testing and find out exactly where their areas they need to focus and what level they're on. And then we have amazing volunteers that come in. We make individualized lesson plans for each one of our students, and we have our volunteers come in and they work most of the time one-on-one, sometimes 2-to-1 student-to-adult ratio. We train them on how to read the lesson plans. We train them on kind of a basic knowledge on what the building blocks of reading are, and then they go in and work with our students, and they're committed to at least one day each week with our students for at least a semester at a time, and so that relationship is just is helping our students grow
Let me ask
tremendously.
quickly, worst case scenario, Maxine, for kids who don't have access to some kind of a program, for any of you, what are they doing or what are they not doing? Are they stuck at home? Are they, taking care of their brothers and sisters? What are they doing?
All of the above can happen. And they may live in a neighborhood where there is a community center, there is a pool, there are activities, and they may be not as supervised as they maybe should be. But one of the things that I think is so exciting about Evelyn's programs and other parks and recreation departments throughout the county, all of the counties of St. Louis, St. Charles, and Jefferson, there are tremendous programs available that are right around the corner, and all parents really need to know is find out about them.
Yes.
Because they're there, and I think the biggest problem that under-resourced families have is they haven't had the knowledge and easy access to the programs. And now we're bringing that through Blueprint for Summer particularly, but because the schools now know about it and the community centers and the churches, there's going to be much easier access. Any library, you can turn on the computer and find an activity. And because there's so many of them in the city of St. Louis in particular, but even in North County that are so affordable, then children where poverty is concentrated will have so many more opportunities. They have been there, by the way. Parents just didn't know about them.
Right. Very briefly, Evelyn, should people be signing up? Can they be signing up for summer programs yet?
Yes,
And
they can.
how long is too long to wait?
I would say past the very beginning of April is too long to wait. We are accepting signups right now, and we will continue accepting them until we're finished with all enrollment, and then we start waiting lists. And it's very sad when parents say, I wish I had known about this earlier.
Right, well, that's what we're trying to
This is a
get the
big
word out.
service.
Right.
Thank you.